sky, and I got this relief inside, and there's no need to hide. I'm going all the way up. Ah, I'm going all the way up. Ah, I'm letting go in my heart. Ah, of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in love. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me. Oh, I need to know how I can make up, not afraid to fall. A parachute behind me. It's a clean slate, got a reason. The horizon is closer than it was. I will be there if you need me. I believe that we can grow. It's a clean slate, got a reason. The horizon is closer than it was. I will be there if you need me. I believe that we can grow. And it's feeling like I'm in love. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me. Oh, I need to know how I can let go, not afraid to fall. A parachute behind me.
Here we go. Great to be with you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And it is David Tian, and I'm tuning in from Taipei, Taiwan, to bring you the life-changing magic, the point of no return. And this live stream, live training, and tomorrow's live training are all part of the open registration for the Platinum Partnership, which has just opened up and will stay open until Sunday, just the end of this weekend. So if you're interested in that, check out the link in the description above. Today, we're getting into the life-changing magic of the point of no return. And that might seem a little obscure of a reference for you, the point of no return. Hopefully it's not. And I'll be bringing to you why it's so important that we make decisions like this every day. And the choices that we make have brought us to this very point that we are meeting here on the internet, and they will also dictate our future. So it's really important to be able to get hold of this power of decision making to make better and better choices in your dating life, in your relationships, in your lifestyle, and how, in fact, you are confronting this point of no return almost every day of your life. And if you didn't realize that, you probably are making the wrong choices, or you've been paralyzed by indecision because you don't know where the point of no return is. And maybe you've never even conceptualized it. So it's you've blown right past it and have not taken and made the most of the opportunities that are in front of you. So just in case you don't know who I am, I'm David Tian, and for the past 15 years, I've been helping hundreds of thousands of people in over 87 countries attain success, happiness, and fulfillment in life and love. And I just want to check in on who is with us right now. I can really only see a number and an eyeball, and I see you right here from the team. I also see from Paul and Noah Great to see you guys and whoever else is watching, Sol, Mari, and others. I see there are other people, but just don't know who they are. Don't be shy. Say hi. Let us know where you're tuning in from. I'm in Taiwan. We got people from Jakarta and the Philippines right now. Where are you tuning in from? If you're in the States, good morning. If you are in London, Europe, around there, good afternoon, good noon to you. And for all of us in Asia, good evening. And I'm going to be getting into the life-changing magic of this special decision point, the point of no return. And just before I get into that, I just want to point out to you that we are in the middle of registration for my Unlimited Access Platinum Partnership. So take advantage of that. And I can answer any questions about that towards the end of today. And over the last couple of weeks, you've heard a lot about this opportunity to transform. You've heard a lot about the 21 courses that are in the course catalog right now that are about all of these different aspects of your life, your dating life, your social life, how to crush it in your lifestyle, in your professional life, your relationship, in your conversational skills, in your ability to lead groups of people, and in so many other facets of this, masculinity. There's so many areas that we have covered in our 21 courses, and growing. We're adding some more, some very transformational courses toward the end of this year as well. And we continue to add to that. And all of our platinum partners get free access or unlimited access to all of that as part of their partnership. And imagine if in your life, the problems that you face now that you're looking for help with, imagine that you are able to get the steps to solve those or resolve those problems, and not just have the knowledge, but then get guidance with the implementation of those, and support and accountability in following through on implementing and applying those steps. And then imagine that the next issue that arises, you've already got the tools and the support system in place to lead you successfully and effortlessly through the next stages of your life at each stage, whether it's casual dating and into a relationship, and then from there growing that relationship into a place of commitment, and then leading from there into building a family, and then leading from there to helping you mentor your own children or your support network, and so on. At each stage, imagine that you have the guidance and the support network and accountability and the know-how and the step-by-step systems for optimizing and maximizing your success in each of those areas. And imagine that you can do that all by investing in yourself right now. Now, you being on this live still right now, big high five to you. Just want to check in here who's tuning in. So Mari, good to see you. Yeah, let me know where you're tuning in from. For all those watching, don't be a stranger. I just want to make sure I'm refreshing the comments to see everyone who's commenting here. And I'm watching on my phone and a laptop. Okay, so just want to make sure I see where you're tuning in from. Say hi. It's been a while that I've gone live. And in fact, we're a little bit late because of all the technical snafus, technical glitches. You might have got caught on an earlier live that stopped. So this one, hopefully this stream will continue. And this live will remain on the internet and Facebook, and we'll upload it to YouTube. And it'll be there until Sunday night when the Platinum Partnership closes. And then this will be uploaded into the Platinum Partnership vault only for Platinum partners. And if you, at each stage of your life, the challenges that you face in your personal life, in your social life, in your professional life, in your relationship, if at each stage of your life you have the tools and the systems and processes in place to succeed at each of those stages and all of the challenges in each of those stages, how valuable would that be? And with a successful mentor by your side, it would become so much easier to do. And that's part of the basis of having this Platinum Partnership. Just with one investment, you get taken care of for the rest of your life, and in all of these different areas of your life. And it's also a vote for my work and our team's work. So consider that as an option. And that's something that is closing at the end of this weekend. Okay, so let's dive right into what the life-changing magic of the point of no return is all about. All right, so I have some slides. I tested this on Keynote earlier today. So hopefully this will work without any glitches, but bated breath here. Okay, so I'm going to go. I just learned I can't just hit play. Play would mean it would. And where is, oh, view, right. Okay. Okay, here we go. And now I can hit play. Okay, so you see this is pretty slow, short slide deck. Okay, so let's get into it. The agony of indecision. So there are 3 points that I want to share. And in fact, there's the slide, but we don't need to dwell on that because it's just a picture of a guy having trouble with deciding. It's the agony of indecision, right? That's what it looks like. That's what it feels like. I work with a lot of people who are stuck in a point of indecision. Okay, and now that I've hit stop share, I'm stuck in the keynote. Let's see if I can get out of it. There we go. I'm back. Okay, and the point of indecision, or the agony or the pain of indecision, comes from the inability to know what decisions to make, and then being stuck in the decision of not deciding. And where does this come up in your life? It's come up in a lot of guys' lives when they see an attractive woman they want to meet, and they're stuck, they're frozen. They can't decide to not even approach her. Because if you can decide, I'm not going to approach her, then pressure's off and you can relax and enjoy whatever the heck you were doing and sipping your coffee in the Starbucks or whatever. Or you can decide to do it and you just go for it. And just making that decision to go for it often means that something will happen. You'll either have a new learning experience, or maybe you'll hit it off, right? Or maybe you'll just meet a nice person who's taken and she's loyal to her man. So kudos to her. And you've met a nice person. It could be all of those things, but you don't get the benefit of any of those results when you're stuck deciding not to decide. Or when you're stuck, because even just not deciding, a lot of you think, oh, I won't decide, and I'll stay on the fence, and that's a position. It is a position, it is a choice, but it's a choice not to choose, and you've chosen it. And that's the worst choice of all, because then you don't get the benefit of any of those things. Now, sometimes you can choose to wait for strategic reasons. Maybe the woman that you'd like to meet is on the way to the bathroom or something, and generally people who need to use the restroom aren't really in a good state of mind to talk. So maybe you wait till she's more relaxed, or maybe she's at the moment at the ATM or something like that. You don't want to disturb somebody at the ATM, whatever it is. But a lot of you guys, it's not that situation. And I know for many of the men who ask for help, they have a woman already in mind that they'd like to meet, maybe at work, or for the younger guys at school. And they haven't worked up the courage. They haven't decided or committed themselves. So there's different commitment levels. And the more committed you are to that decision, the more you will follow through, and then the better your life will actually get. So even the decision to wait, if it's strategic, can be very powerful. But many of you don't make that strategic decision. You're doing that as a default. And this isn't just in dating. This is probably in many other areas of your life where you're kind of stuck in this kind of paralysis. And this is actually the most painful position to be in, because being stuck, not taking action, then reinforces this cycle of not taking action. So I know that if you have experienced this in one area of your life, this agony of indecision, you are experiencing that agony of indecision in multiple areas of your life, because this is a principle of life. And if you start to give in to that temptation to not decide, or to actually decide not to decide, then that pain will infiltrate, will pollute, will spread to other areas of your life. And this is incredibly unattractive. A lot of men don't realize how unattractive indecisiveness is. It's not, generally speaking, an evolutionarily beneficial strategy. Sometimes just waiting, playing it safe, keeps it so that you're surviving, but you're not winning, you're not thriving, and you're not learning quickly. So many guys get stuck in a rut because they're not stepping forward, they're not committing, they're not resolving to do something. And they're at the very basic level, they're not even making conscious decisions. They're just taking whatever is given them. So that's the pain of indecision. How do you get out of it? So one of the reasons why guys get stuck in the pain of indecision is because it's not clear to them, given their normal rubric of how they make decisions, it's not clear to them which option is the best. Okay, so I present to you point number 2, which is the point of no return. Little pun there. But hey, Josue, good to see you. Just want to check in to see. Oh, hi from the Netherlands, Ronald. Great to have you join us from the Netherlands. Awesome. Where else are you guys tuning in from? Great to have you in from the Netherlands. So we've got guys from all over the world right now tuning in together, which is pretty cool. Okay, so the point of no return, I take it from this analogy here. Let's see, I'm going to do a share screen again. And I'm not sure whether sharing these keynote slides is actually worth the trouble, but I'm going to try it for today, and we'll see. Where is it? Enter full screen, and then click play. Okay, so you've seen. Here's the slide. You've probably learned about the point of no return in terms of driving. So when you approach a yellow light, an amber light, and it's been sitting there, you're going to have to make a choice, because there's a certain point at which, if you need to slam on the brakes, it gets very dangerous. It gets dangerous for you and for any drivers around you. So you have to choose the point where you can safely slow down and stop. Beyond that point, you better gun it and just keep going. And that's called the point of no return. This is something almost everyone has learned at some point. So I've chosen this. Now, the point of no return actually was that concept, that term, that phrase actually came up first in terms of piloting airplanes, right? And so not many of us have actually flown airplanes. So I'm choosing this much more common scenario of driving. Now, if you didn't know this concept, I don't know how many, I want to see show of hands, how many people did not get taught the point of no return? So they see a yellow light and they didn't get to see it turn from green to yellow. It's just been yellow and they're approaching it. What is going through your mind? Now, a lot of guys who don't know about the point of no return might be blithely going through there, and then suddenly it turns red and they go, and they slam on the brakes and cause a rear ender or whatever. They end up in the middle of traffic or some other dangerous situation. Or maybe you panic. So you start speeding up and you haven't thought about where this point is. So it's really important that you get good at finding the point of no return. Now, I've got a few points to help you with this. So it's a sub point of 2, the point of no return, sub point 2, which is the first. Oh, so on the left here, there's actually, when I Googled this to get a nice image, there's actually a movie called The Point of No Return. I haven't seen this movie, but it's a nice photo. And originally this term, the point of no return, has to do with piloting airplanes. I think it came up in wartime. Actually, it's just probably just normally piloting airplanes, where after a certain point, they would not be able to return to their original, the place where they originally left, because they don't have enough fuel. So they have to just keep going. So when you get past that point, you got to keep going. And this is especially important when you're flying over the ocean, because there are no other stopping points there. So what does that say? 26,000 miles fueled only by the sun. Well, that's a nice premise. So the point of no return is for airplanes. Now, we actually encounter this a lot. When we are faced with decisions, there's actually a point of no return that you should know about when it comes to meeting women or attracting a woman. Now, the points of no return, there are points of no return depending on the situation, the specific situation. I cover those in my courses. When you need to know when you need to move forward and how long you have that luxury of waiting. And the point of no return is usually later than many guys think. And in some special circumstances, it's earlier, but you need to know where that point is. So how do you decide or learn where that point is? How do you pick the point? Well, the first out of 3 points I'm going to make, 3 sub-points here, is the first is intuition. Okay, the first is you actually have an intuition around it. So if you just think about what situation you're in, let's say driving or flying. With flying, I guess it's not as intuitive because none of us have, well, I don't know how many of you have flown. I have coached pilots, actually, so some of you maybe have flown. But whatever that is, with driving, you have an intuition. You know where the safe point is and when you can stop. And so you're gauging that. Now, the very first time you're trying to decide on the point of no return, you probably don't get it right, or you don't get it optimally. So I've had my driving instructor, the first time I was learning how to drive, and he was asking me, where's the point of no return as we're approaching a yellow light? And I say, now. And he says, no, it was earlier, or no, it was later. So I'm getting coaching on that. But I have an intuition already. So I kind of already know. And so many of us already have an intuition around where that point is when we should decide to get off the fence, right? Now, how do we get better at that? Practice. That's the point two. You can actually practice and hone and cultivate your intuitions. That's what's happening when you're practicing going towards an amber light and guessing where that point of no return is, and then seeing if you're right. Seeing if, and you might be right if the thing turns red, then you'll really find out if you can actually slam on the brakes safely or not. And with more practice, you get better. You actually hone your intuitions. That's true with every skill, by the way. Every performative skill that's with an activity over time, has some element of intuition. You develop your intuitions with it as you do it more and more. Eventually, when you do it enough, you get the feel for it, and it goes into your unconscious mind. And so certain parts of it become automatic. You get that automaticity. But on top of that, you start to be able to improvise and have more skill around it because the basic skills have become automated in your brain. And then that comes from practice. So you start off with an intuition, then you practice it. You actually have to get practice. You have to get practice doing these things that are good for you. And that might mean approaching women. And for many of you, I would recommend you don't. It might mean having conversations with women. It might mean being in relationships. So for so many of us, and the guys I work with, I'm finding more and more men are getting into relationships later and later in their lives for whatever reasons. Maybe it's easier these days to hook up through Tinder or something. So there's less of that girlfriend-boyfriend thing going on and just more casual dating. And then they think, okay, I've never gotten into a relationship before in my 30 years of my life, but the next woman that I really, really like, I'll be in a relationship with her and we will succeed and become married forever for the rest of our lives. And the chances of that happening are quite slim, because it's probably, for that guy, it's the first time he's ever been in a relationship. He hasn't had any practice. As an example, now you can actually get a lot better because you don't want to have to, you don't want to have to reinvent the wheel every time. You don't want to have to just rely on your own practice and trial and error. Therefore, you can cut down the trial and error time so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time, and you can benefit from the guidance of those who've already gone before. Okay, so it comes down to guidance. Oh, yes, mouse here. Oh, right. Great. So those, hopefully off the slides now, but you remember that at the point of no return, the trick question or the key there is, how do you pick the point? How do you know where that point of no return is? Oh, and thanks for all the hearts. I just saw those as I came out of keynote. Hey, Dwayne from Jamaica. Awesome. Great to have you join us. Wow, that's cool. We got people from all these different time zones. So welcome. Where was I? Oh, yes, the point of no return, picking the point. The first subpoint is intuition. You already have an intuition. You kind of know already what's good for you, what you should pull the plug on or press the button on or pull the trigger on, whether it's to back out or go in or whatever it is. You already have this intuition sort of tugging at you. But if you have had the inertia of not making decisions, if that's a normal pattern of procrastinating until the last minute to make the decision, and you don't know where that last minute is because it's not crystal clear in almost every case, right? So then you're wondering, where is that place, the point at which I cannot take advantage of this anymore? I cannot get those benefits anymore. It's not clear where those points are. It's been plenty of times where I will wait until the last minute for a sale, like some online cyber sale or whatever. And then I keep refreshing. I don't know, I come back to it. And then I forget. So I get really busy the actual day that the thing is closed. And then I come back and I refresh and the sale is gone. I'm like, God damn it. Next time I see this, I will know that they mean business. Have you ever been in a situation like that where you messed up the point of no return? Have you ever thought to yourself, there's a really cute girl that you'd like to get to know at your gym or something, now post opening up or post lockdown, and you want to get to know her, and you wait, and I'll do another set, and maybe when she's off that machine, then I might say hi or something like that, or I might make eye contact, and then you wait, and then you finish your thing, you look over and she's gone. How many times has that happened? Or how many times have you just been paralyzed because you didn't decide? Because you're like, maybe I will, because the power of maybe is paralyzing, and it's it's weak for moving forward. Maybe if you say maybe, then the chances of you actually taking action are almost zero. It'd be better if you didn't even consider it yet, because then you can just make a choice. But maybe means you're in a holding pattern, and that takes energy. So how many of you guys have said to yourselves, maybe I'll go talk to that girl at the gym? Maybe. And because you said to yourself, maybe, it didn't happen. Because every window of opportunity just went by and closed, and you kept missing them, and then they were gone. Once those windows are gone, then and if she ever notices that you passed up, that you consciously chickened out, that you passed up a window of opportunity to get to know her, and that could be something as subtle as you make eye contact and you kind of look at her, she turns away, and then you don't go and say hi. Already in her mind, maybe even unconsciously, maybe consciously, she's already started to write you off because you didn't decide, you didn't make an effort to take action. You didn't get in the habit of taking action. So right away, you have this intuition of, oh, I should have done something. But you notice that you can hone your intuitions through practice. And then ultimately, you don't want to have to keep learning through trial and error or through reinventing the wheel. You can take advantage of guidance of people who've gone before, have gone ahead of you, maybe 5, 10, 20 years ahead of you. So they can tell you what's coming up. And so you can anticipate the challenges and the roadblocks and to what to expect. And look, I learned how to drive from a driving instructor and then from my dad. I didn't just sort of get behind the wheel with an instruction manual and go, okay, I got to find this point of no return. That would have been very dangerous. And it would have taken me a lot longer to learn. Getting the guidance shortens that learning curve, or actually, is that what's the right term for learning curves? Shortens the curve or speeds up the process of learning much faster. Okay, so those are the 3 points about finding or the point of no return and picking the point of no return. Getting good at listening to your intuitions and then honing your intuitions through practice and repetition and training. And then third, probably the most important one, is getting expert guidance to help you with the practice so that you can train your intuitions so that becomes second nature for you to begin to pick these points of no return. Now, even just knowing about the concept of the point of no return is life-changing, actually, because if you didn't know about the concept of the point of no return, and now that you know about it, you can imagine not knowing about it. Maybe that was just like half an hour ago or something, but imagine not knowing about this and you just sort of go through life approaching these so-called yellow lights, maybe yellow lights in reality and actual literal yellow lights, but also amber lights, which are maybe, I don't know, maybe should I go or not? And that's pretty much every situation in life, okay, especially as an adult. You see an attractive woman, maybe I should talk to her, right? Or maybe you're in a relationship and maybe I should bring up this thing that has been bothering me about her or about our relationship. Maybe, and it's a yellow light. Oh, I don't know. And then the longer you wait, the worse it gets, right? Instead of getting in the habit of finding where that point of no return is, making the decision, even making a decision to find the point, then making a decision that when you hit that point, you will make that choice. And then forcing yourself to follow through on what is good for you. Because what will happen is when you make the decision, often that's when other confounding things show up just to stop you. And you've got to commit to following through on the decision that you decided earlier in your rational, cool rationality. And now in your kind of more emotional state of, oh, I don't know, anxiety, all the stuff that causes paralysis of analysis and causes toxic perfectionism, all that shame, doubt, insecurity, all that comes crowding in, and it now muddies the waters of your clear decision earlier. So you've got to get in the habit not just of making decisions when you hit the point of no return, but actually committing to following through, and then finding an even more powerful part of you that will make sure that you do the thing that's right for you that you've decided on earlier. Okay, so it's really important. There's many aspects to this decision, to this philosophy of decision making. And it's not just, oh, I'm going to make a decision, or I'm just going to go be maybe, but it's actually the fact that you're recognizing how powerful and pervasive your decisions are to your life, that you're making these choices every day. And those choices that you're making are shaping who you are and how your life becomes, little bit by little bit, sort of like how someone would create a stone statue, just chipping away little bit by little bit. Each of those decisions may not be obviously important at the time, but over time, that principle or those patterns of decision-making add up into a life. And whatever decisions and choices you've made up to this point have led you here to be with me. And I'm incredibly grateful for this opportunity to be with you. And I also want to applaud you for being on here, because that means you've invested in yourself already. You've taken the time, you honored yourself enough to take this time to invest yourself, to improve your life, to better yourself, and to be part of this community that we've built up here on the internet. So I just want to check in again. Anyone who's watching, don't be shy, say hi. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Also, any kind of engagement will help us with the great evil Facebook overlords of their algorithm. So even an angry face will help. So any kind of engagement, you can tell me, David, fuck off. That'll actually help us. So any kind of engagement you got, I'd appreciate that. And just let us know where you're tuning in from, because I think other guys find that interesting. I find it interesting. I love travel, and especially have been really antsy to get that travel bug, because it's been a year and a half now since I haven't traveled. I used to fly internationally every 2 to 3 weeks for several years. So it's quite the change. So now I have specific guidance for that last point that I want to share with you. But before we do that, the last point of how to get the best guidance, or how to choose good guidance. Before we do that, though, I want to address the fundamental skill involved here for making the right choices in your life, whether it's in dating, relationships, your lifestyle, your professional life, your personal life, whatever important area of life you want to focus on. And that is this process of deciding, committing, and then resolving yourself to follow through, and then ensuring that follow through for what's good for you. So many of us make decisions at some point in the year that are actually good for us. And a prime time for this is the New Year's resolution period. So a lot of us towards, I don't know, how many months is it? About 5 months later, we'll make New Year's resolutions, many of them around fitness, diet, that sort of thing. And you, with the best of intentions in January, sign up for a gym or sign up for a new diet, and you order the diet plan and all that good stuff. And we've all been there. We have the best of intentions to stick with it. And how long does the average person stick with their New Year's resolutions that are, logically speaking, good for them? The average is less than 2 months. So 2 out of 12 months is about the average of follow through. And you can even see this by tracking how often people use their gym memberships. People who own gym memberships only on average use them 2 out of 12 months of the year. This will take you pretty much until Valentine's Day. I've seen this trend a lot every year. The gym gets super crowded. Well, not during COVID, but gets super crowded normally in January. You hit February 14th, it's packed. February 15th or thereafter, it starts to taper off. And then by March, you're back to normal. People have, generally speaking, about 2 months of momentum in them. They're sort of like the Conor McGregor's. They got 2 rounds in them. They got 2 months out of 12 in them, and then they peter out and they're done. And then they wait another 10 months and make the same resolution again and try a different approach, I suppose. But it's the same thing over and over. And eventually they just give up on making resolutions, right? You've been there. Like, none of this works. What's the point? I might as well just enjoy my ice cream, right? So here's the secret. There is an actual process by which you make a decision that will force you to follow through for what's good for you. And then imagine not just that one decision, but all of these decisions that you know are good for you, that you get in the habit of following through, so that the follow through becomes second nature. It's actually possible to do that, though I know there's a minority of people who are in that habit. And I have this process that I will be taking you through now, and it's incredibly powerful, but it's only going to work if you play full out. So there are going to be times when I prompt you to say things, or to punch the sky, okay, or to say, just to vocalize it. And there's a science behind this, the science of embodied cognition. There's a lot of research on this. And what embodied cognition is that it starts with the recognition that you are not just a brain. You're not a disembodied brain floating around, and your body is a conveyance device for your brains. That's not you. We're not brains in a vat. We are embodied. So the brain actually is connected through your spinal cord to the rest of your body. For intellectuals, that's like wow, what? So it's actually, or your whole body that's thinking. Okay, so signals are going through your body, through the nerves, and sending them back up to your brain and back and forth. Okay, so it's really important that when you learn a lesson, and you can just see this, that have you ever just watched a video and had your brain tickled, and then no change in your life happened? Or have you ever watched or read something and then a week or so later you've forgotten it? And maybe it's even like the next day on the tip of your tongue, you want to share it with your friend, but now you've forgotten what was that? What was that? Right? Because it was just in your head. And knowledge that's just in your head very rarely translates to actual tangible benefits in your actual life, unless you take that cognition and you embody it. So that's what we're doing here. And it's a process of about 20, 30 minutes or so. And it's going to involve music. It's going to be really nice, not you singing. I'll provide the music. And you just got to follow along with the instructions. It's even more powerful if you have earphones. That's not absolutely necessary, but it's better generally if you can put earphones on and then just play full out. What that means is when I say these instructions of do a certain movement, do your best to do that movement, or say something, say it. Okay, so that'll work for you. You could just sit there and passively watch and listen. Don't expect to get a whole lot out of it then. Okay, so the more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. And this is incredibly transformative. So is that enough lead in there? Oh, hey, Tony from Birmingham, England, with COVID. Oh, you've got COVID now? Damn, I hope you're feeling okay. And maybe this meditative exercise will help you feel a little better. So put on those headphones, and it is a meditative exercise. So it is a nice trip. Okay, so I recommend that you close your eyes, though if you have to open your eyes, we've provided a nice landscape video for you to stay in a meditative zone. Okay, so without further ado, here is a process that will train you to make these decisions in an optimal way, to lead you effortlessly and naturally over time to success in any area of your life in which you have to make decisions, which is every important area of your life. Okay, so I'm going to DJ here, get the music going, and give you a minute or so to put your headphones on. Okay, so here we go. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, so here we go. Hello, my friend. Looking back at your life, think about the things you're proud about. They almost always involve stepping outside your comfort zone and taking massive action. Okay. The music there is messed up. Just give me a second. Okay, let me restart this. Okay, I'm back. Okay, give me one more second. Okay, this should work. Hello, my friend. Looking back at your life, think about the things you're proud about. They almost always involve stepping outside your comfort zone and taking massive action. And they always start from decisions you've made. Decisions have incredible power over our lives. Think of all the pieces of your life you're thrilled about and the pieces you're not so thrilled about. All of them have one thread in common. They all result from decisions you've made. So if decisions have such great power to shape our lives, to change the way we're thinking, change the way we're feeling, why don't we use this power better? Why do we put off making decisions? The biggest reason is fear. We often avoid decisions because we're afraid of failing, of making the wrong decision. The truth is, if you make the wrong decision, at least you'll find out quickly. You're never going to know by sitting on the fence. More than anything else, I believe it's our decisions, not the conditions of our lives, that determine our destiny. General Norman Schwarzkopf used to tell a story about an early mentor of his, a general in the army. In asking the general to make a decision about a problem that had been brewing for 10 years, this group brought huge stacks of documents and complicated technical explanations. The general just looked at them and said, "The answer is obvious, gentlemen." And he gave them the answer. After they left, Schwarzkopf, who was a much lower ranked officer at the time, asked his mentor how he could possibly have taken such decisive action. The general replied, "This has been a decision that no one's been willing to make for 10 years. The best minds have been on it and they can't decide. So you know what? We need to pick one and do it. Decisions are power, and I'm here to make them. That's what I'm in this position for. That's why I'm a leader." Schwarzkopf never forgot that experience. When you think about it, trying to be perfect when it comes to decision making is insane. The only real failure is failing to decide, putting off what inevitably you know you need to do. Do you have some decisions in your life you know you need to make? What have you been putting off? It's time for you to decide. Sometimes all it takes is for you to step up, step out of your fear, put yourself in a courageous state and make it happen. The hardest part almost always is making the decision. After that, it's easy. It's being on the fence that makes you crazy. Today, challenge yourself to let go of the fear, let go of your desire to be perfect, and make one decision that you've been putting off. Then let the power of that decision propel you off the fence and into greater decisive action. By taking these small shifts, you'll see a big difference in the quality of your life. Now, I'll lead you through a 3-step process to help ensure you will follow through on your decisions. But make sure that you have set aside at least 30 minutes uninterrupted and that you're listening to this with headphones or earphones and in a quiet, private place. All set? Great. Then just relax and enjoy. So right now, what's a decision you know you need to make in your life, but that might be difficult? But the decision is one that you know if you made it, if you made that decision now, you know you'd feel proud. You know that decision would lead to something greater in your life. What's a little decision you've been putting off? Somewhere in the back of your mind, you know it needs to happen. What's a decision you know needs to happen? What's a decision that you'd be afraid of the unknown or failure or disappointment, but you know if you'd make it, if you were to step up today and make it, you know it'd create a greater life for you and for those you love. Decision making isn't easy, but it's worth it. And when you really decide, you cut off any possibility except the thing you've committed to. What's a small decision that if you took action on it immediately, it would significantly improve your life, your social life, your money, your relationships, or your career, or your happiness, or your physical well-being? If you can think of a decision right now that you know if you made it, your life would be better, say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Now I want you to think of a second decision, a bigger decision, a tougher decision. This may be a decision you've wrestled with for a while in your life. You've put it off because you've been afraid, but fear will never give you what you deserve in life. Only strength will. Punch the sky. Punch the sky. Punch the sky. Punch the sky. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. If you were to make that big decision, a difficult decision, that you want to really make it and take immediate, massive action, how would your life change for the better? What's a decision that would take strength, commitment, and passion? What's a decision that if you made it, would be hard as hell, but once you've made it, you'd be so proud of yourself? What's a decision if you made it, you'd know your life would be better? Even though it'd be difficult initially, it would lead to a much greater life. Is your decision about a relationship, ending one, or beginning one, or reigniting one? Is it a decision about your body, something you're going to stop doing or start doing? Is it a decision about your career, something you've got to step up and make happen? Be as specific as possible. Specific, measurable. What decision are you going to make that's a tough decision, but when you make it, you're going to feel so strong, and you're going to feel so proud? Maybe it's a decision you ask guidance for. Maybe prayer for guidance, saying, help me make this decision. Guide this to me now. But you know if you made it, life would change forever. What's a difficult but beautiful decision? What's a decision that in your soul you know needs to happen, but you've been putting it off? It may be difficult initially, but once you've acted on it, you'll get momentum, and when you look back 2, 3, or 5 years from now, you can be so grateful you made the decision. It'll be one of the most important ones you've made. If you feel you know what that decision is, say yes. Say yes. Say yes. If you made that decision already, you've already made it. What would change in your life? If you made it and took immediate action, what action would you take? If you'd already made that decision, what little action would you take and what big action would you take? What's a little action you'd take immediately? Because here's one thing I've learned in my life. Never leave the site of making your decision. Never leave the place of making a goal without doing something while you're still in that decisive state to commit you to following through. I'll say that again. Never, never, ever leave the site of setting a goal or making a decision without doing something while you're still in that decisive state that commits you to follow through. That's how you keep momentum. Most people have good intentions, but then they get out of that decisive state and they don't follow through. So what action can you take immediately, today, on that big decision to commit yourself? Would you call somebody? Would you schedule a meeting? Would you write an email? Would you enroll in a class? What would you do immediately so you knew you meant it when taking action? And then what would be a second big action you would take? I always tell people, don't just decide, commit and act. You've been fat and you decide to take care of your body. So you go home and you tear everything out of your refrigerator, out of your cupboards, and you dump it all down the trash while you play your favorite music like you're the champion of the world. Commit and act. You hate your car, your family's embarrassed of your car, you don't just wait around, you blow up the car so you never drive that thing again. Commit and act. What's something crazy or fun that you can do that would mean to yourself, I mean business? What's a big action you can take today or the next couple of days? And the same thing on your smaller decision. What's a little action you can take on your smaller decision? And what's a big action you can take that would change you, commit you to follow through? To hire somebody? Would you get a mentor? Would you enroll somewhere? Would you fire somebody maybe? Would you let go of something? Would you schedule a meeting? What would you do? Commit and act so it's real. If you've got two actions that you could take immediately on your small decision and your big decision, if you know what you're going to do, say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Then right now, using your voice and body, make the sound of unstoppable intensity as loud as you can. Go! Now, see yourself, know yourself following through. And we'll do it again, yes. And we'll do it again, yes. And every time you say it, you'll feel your commitment. We'll do it about a dozen times and then we'll celebrate our commitment. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? See yourself, know yourself following through. Okay, we're going to do it again. We're going to say yes. We'll do it again, yes. Okay, and every time you say it, you'll feel your commitment. We'll do it about a dozen times and then we'll celebrate our commitment. Are you ready now? Are you ready now? Then with your eyes closed, breathe deep. Feel strong. Feel like you're getting ready to commit. Not just decide, but totally commit. That you're going to find a way, or if there is no way, you'll make the way to make this happen. Get ready. Feel strong. Feel like you're getting ready to commit. Get ready. Feel it build up in your body. Because we're going to physically commit with our bodies. We're going to embody this. We're going to move our bodies with movement and say yes. With every yes, feel your total commitment. Get ready now. Get set. We're going to physically commit with our bodies. With every yes, you will feel your total commitment. You're going to move your body with movement and you're going to say yes. With every yes, you will feel that commitment. Get ready. Get set. Go, punch the sky. Yes, 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 yes. Now, celebrate the victory of your commitment. Celebrate it. Go. With your face, your voice, and your body. Lift your arms up. Look up to the sky. Celebrate it. Yes. Celebrate it. Yes. Celebrate it, yes. If you can feel inside your body, not just in your mind, but in your body, that you are committed to make this happen, say yes. Say yes. Say yes. What's the difference in how it feels between deciding and committing? Can you feel it? Where is it? How does it feel different? How does it feel different? Now celebrate the victory of your commitment. Celebrate it. Go with your face, your voice, and your body. Go. Celebrate it. Yes. Celebrate it. Yes. Celebrate it. Yes. Say yes. Say yes. If you can feel inside your body, not just in your mind, but in your body, that you're committed to make this happen, say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Good. Now there's one more step, and that's the state of absolute resolve. And when you've resolved something, what does that mean? It means it's done. Deciding is like a war. Committing is power and momentum. It takes the moment and carries it into the future. But resolve is effortless. When it's done in you, it'll be done in the world. Even if it's not yet done in the world, when it's done in you, there's no more discussion. Somebody asked a 5-year-old once, what is resolve? And the little boy said, promising yourself that you'll never give up and there's no other option. I thought, what a great definition. So here's what I want you to do. When you go to resolve, how does it feel when something's resolved in your body? How does it feel? Is it heavy or light? Light, that's right. So what we're going to do this time, we're going to feel that powerful state. But when it gets ready, we got to resolve. We're going to do it like this. We're going to make a move that's just effortless. We're going to go softly, like yes, 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 with a big smile. Yes, yes. And then we'll celebrate our resolve. But to do it, you've got to be in a powerful state. Say, I am unstoppable. Say, I am unstoppable. Celebrate your strength now. 1, 2, 3, go. Celebrate your strength now. Go. Shout out loud. What do you resolve? What else do you resolve to do? Shout it out loud. What do you resolve? What else do you resolve to do? Shout out loud. What do you resolve to do? What do you resolve to do? Celebrate your strength again. 1, 2, 3, go. Celebrate it. Shout out loud. What do you resolve to do? Shout out loud. What do you resolve to do? Now celebrate your strength again. 1, 2, 3, go. Think of the 2 decisions you've made, and then what we're going to do is effortlessly, over and over, say yes, yes, and then we'll celebrate it. Breathe the way you breathe when you anticipate something great is going to happen. How do you breathe when you anticipate great lovemaking? Breathe that way. That's it. That's it. Put the look on your face that you have when you anticipate something great is about to happen. And get ready to feel total resolve in you. Effortless, enjoyable. You know it's true. You know it's done. It's no longer a question. Even if other people are upset, you understand, but it's done. It's already resolved. There's no going back. It's done in you, as you, it is you. Get ready. Resolve. Gratitude. Breathe deep. Feel a sense of positive expectancy. Get ready. Like you can't wait to resolve this. You can't wait to say yes, yes, effortlessly and feel it resolve. To feel the joy of it. Resolve leads to joy, doesn't it? It feels light. It feels alive. Get ready. Feel it coming. Feel it coming. 1, here it comes, here it comes. You can't wait to say yes effortlessly. Feel it coming. Feel it coming. 1, 2. Here it comes. Here it comes. You can't wait to say yes effortlessly. 2, 2, 3. Go. Yes. 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 it's done. It's in you, as you, it is you. And life will never be the same again. Breathe. Enjoy it. And as you do, just make the sound of the joyful sound of resolve. Make the sound of what it feels like to be able to let go and know it's done. Make that sound out loud. Go. 1, 2, 3. Make the sound. Go. Feel it. Take it into your heart. Take it into your soul. Give thanks for whatever has guided you to decide, to commit, and to resolve. And you know it's right, don't you? You know it's right, don't you? It's guided to this moment. It's why you got this. One of the reasons you got this was to make these 2 decisions. It's the beginning of more of your life being yours. What's possible now in your life today because of these 2 decisions that you've resolved? What can you enjoy more of? What can you appreciate more of? What can you experience more of because of these 2 decisions? That's it. Feel it. So right now, bring to these decisions one more emotion, the state of gratitude. How do you breathe when you feel so grateful? How do you breathe when you know grace has come to you? How do you breathe when you know you've been guided? Put both your hands on your heart, keeping your eyes closed. Breathe deep. That's it. Feel it. Both your hands on your heart and breathe deep into your heart. Breathe deep into your heart and feel the power of your heart. Feel the strength of your heart. Feel the beauty of your heart. Physically feel it as you breathe deep into your heart and lungs. What are you grateful for? What are you grateful your heart has guided you to do or feel or experience or share or enjoy? How grateful can you be for your life and your heart? Because you didn't have to earn your heart. It was given to you as a gift, wasn't it? You didn't have to earn it. It's a pure gift. For as long as it beats, we live. Give thanks for your heart and for its guidance. And as you hold your heart, touch your heart, and breathe into your heart, I want you to think of 3 moments in your life you can feel deeply grateful for because you want to. One at a time. Step first into the first one right now and feel so grateful for a moment in your life, any moment at all. It could be as a child or as an adult. It could have been recent or a long time ago. But just breathe in your heart and step into that moment you can feel so grateful for. See what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel what you felt then. And feel that gratitude in your body right now. Now, think of another moment you can be deeply grateful for, a special moment in your life. Step into that memory like you're there, looking through your own eyes, seeing, hearing, feeling what you felt then right now. And feeling so grateful. Think of a third moment now you can feel incredibly grateful for. Step into it as if you were there, feeling so grateful. Think of a coincidence now. We all love coincidences. We didn't make them happen. Something happened for us. We didn't do it. What's a coincidence that led to something so important in your life, so beautiful? What's a coincidence that led to something you're grateful for? Step in that moment and feel grateful for that coincidence that led to something you love, appreciate, or enjoy. What's one more coincidence that has guided you to something you love in your life? What's another coincidence you can be grateful for? See it, feel the gratitude. Was it a coincidence, or were you guided? Was it a coincidence, or were you guided? And now just give thanks in whatever way is most appropriate for you. A prayer, maybe just 2 words. Thank you. Thank you. Just give thanks in whatever way is most appropriate for you. Thank you. Thank you. Think about the power now of what's guided you to the 2 decisions you've made. Think about the power of momentum, your ability to find and enjoy freedom, your ability to tap into your passion, what you love, what you hate, what excites you, what you want. Feel the power of decision, how hard it is, but then easy to commit and even easier to resolve. Think about the 2 actions you're going to take, how you're going to submit your follow-through. Think about how your life is going to change for the better and how grateful you are. Think about the fact that you created this, you, and grace is with you. You've been guided. Let the energy of gratitude, of joy, of certainty start to grow in your body. It's going to become a celebration in a moment, like the greatest celebration in your life. It's going to be a celebration, and when it happens, you'll feel like your whole body is igniting with excitement, with energy, with gratitude, with joy. It'll explode from either side of you, out your mouth and out of your body with sound. You'll feel the vibration of it, and you'll own your new destiny. Feel it start to build, the feeling of energy, a feeling of excitement, a feeling of gratitude, a feeling of passion. Feel the momentum building up. It's getting stronger and stronger. And now make the sound of it as loud as you can. 1, 2, 3, go! Now double the intensity of your sound. Double it. 1, 2, 3, go! Feel it in your heart. Feel it in your heart. In you, as you, it is you. Feel the strength of it. Feel the joy of it. Feel the guidance of it. You made the decisions, and now the future is yours. Breathe it. Feel it inside you. It's not outside you, it's inside you. It's a power that's always been there, activated in you, as you, it is you. Let that energy build up once again, an energy, an excitement, a passion, a celebration. Get ready to make that sound even stronger. 1, 2, 3, go! Double the intensity now. 1, 2, 3, go! The face, your voice, and your body, go! One more time, go! Again, go! 1, 2, 3, go! Celebrate! Make the sound even stronger, go! Double the intensity now. 1, 2, 3, go! One more time now, go! Take it into your heart. Feel it. Own it. In you, as you, it is you. And it is grace within you. You have your new momentum. It's an inner strength. It's based on your true freedom of power, passions, decisions, commitment, resolve, action, and momentum. The future is yours. Enjoy. enjoy it.
Let's get
And
together now.
congratulations.
You'll see just how this life is supposed to be. Come on. Oh. Come on.
All right. How was that? How are you? How's that process for you? And it's pretty powerful. I hope you played full out. The more you played full out, the more you get out of it. Just take a moment here as this process is sinking in for you. And by the way, a lot of that was directly affecting your, or speaking to you, or impacting or influencing your unconscious mind. So maybe you might not see immediate obvious effects of it, but if you played full out with that, you stayed attentive to it, and you concentrated throughout that process, you've got these already, you've started that process in your unconscious mind, so that you will find a higher level of decisiveness within you, and just trust that it's there because it's working in you. Okay, so I'm just going to take a few minutes here to hear from you. I want to hear from you what decisions you made. You were prompted to make one big decision and one small decision. Let me have a little music here to share to. And I'm going to wait. I have to remind myself there's a 15-second lag roughly between when I say something and when it shows up on the Facebook Live here because of the API and all that. So I will wait as you type in here how that was for you and what your decisions are. Please share the two decisions you made, and you can also share how you're going to follow through on those decisions. Okay, let's just get some music here. So go ahead and share in here. I'll be looking for the comments. Is it this one? Oh, yes, right. Oh, wait. Okay, where is this? Oh, here it is. I just remembered I can't play copyrighted music here. All right, let's do a quick share. Computer audio. I think that's what I'm supposed to click here. Okay, hear music coming through here. All right, so let us know. Oh, Sharon asks, when are you on again? I'm on again, same time tomorrow. And guess what, Sharon? This replay is staying up for the next couple of days. So you can always hit that rewind button. Actually, I don't know if that works while I'm live. So once we're done here, you can hit that rewind and watch it from the beginning. So how was that for you guys? Share one of your decisions, or share how you plan to follow through on those decisions. I'm going to hold you accountable. So we're going to wait just a little bit here and give you an opportunity to respond. Let me know how that goes, how that was for you. Take a sip of water here while I wait. And I'm serious about waiting. This is part of how I make sure that you follow through. I'm not just going to sit here and blather. I'm going to make sure you follow through. So tell me, what were one of the decisions you made and how you plan to follow through? Let us know. Soul Mari, I see you're watching. Let us hear share one of your decisions. Or Tony, or Dwayne, or Ronald. Let us know. One of those decisions that you were prompted to make, and how you would like any help following through. Or you can share anything that came from that process. Maybe the gratitude segment of it, maybe a memory that touched you. Notice how powerful gratitude is for relieving that pressure that causes that paralysis of analysis and that indecision. Oh, Soul is written here. Study all of the self-improvement things I have to study consistently daily. Not sure how yet. Regards, immediate decisions. Okay. Well, let me give you some advice because I do this for a living. Self-improvement things. I suppose you have a list of things like meditation, reading certain books, watching certain courses. So you just sit down with your schedule and you decide how much time you can commit each day to each of those things. And maybe when you sit down and look at your schedule, it could end up being you only have a half hour, or maybe you have a lot of time, maybe you got 2 or 4 hours. Or maybe on the weekends, you batch your self-improvement and do the bulk of it on the Saturday or the Sunday. But it is important to just sit down and look at your 7-day calendar for your, most people have a rhythm of a weekly rhythm. You might have a monthly one, but for most people it's weekly. And you have the different rhythm on the weekends, and you have your rhythm on the worked week or the normal week if you're studying in school or something. And you figure out when you can slot those things in. That's really basic level 1 kind of time management. So it's important just to not be overwhelmed, like I got all these things. Just make a list and then start putting them in the slots, the time slots. And then you wrote, learn a song on guitar, 30 minutes daily. Nice. See about making money eventually. Oh, making, right? Making money eventually. A lot of time. Okay, good. Half an hour a day on the guitar as a beginner is a good pace. And then over time, if you want to be professional, you're going to need to increase that to 1 hour, an hour and a half, 2 hours. In high school, when I was in grade 10, which would mean I was, how old are you in grade 10? 15? I was moving from an hour a day of practicing saxophone to an hour and a half a day of practicing saxophone, and I was just in high school. But I get it, because we started off, all of us 5 years old, playing piano in my family and my immediate social circle. So you start off with that 30 minutes a day and build up your endurance to get to 45 and so on. That would be if you're serious about becoming professional. See, I just already given you a way of following through, so you know what's involved with getting serious about achieving those goals. But you can small chunk it. Start off just making that decision to sign up with that teacher, or to set aside what time to what time each day. And those are all great ways of ensuring or making it easier that you follow through, because you got it in your calendar, so you don't have to think about it every day. It just comes up in your notifications and you go and do it. Awesome, Soul. Great to have you on here. And the rest of you, what the heck's going on? I am challenged to find, I want to know why. Okay, or if you didn't make a decision, that's interesting too. I would like feedback as to why maybe that didn't work for you and what you were doing instead of making the decision. Or maybe the decision is very personal, like stop masturbating to internet porn. And that's one, okay, you don't need to share that with everybody. I get it. But you got 2 decisions, so maybe the other one's not so maybe awkward. Jay, they're coming in here. Okay, Jay wrote, I decided to continue becoming the best version of myself by first acknowledging God as my savior and then continuing on my daily habits and routines, which I created the day I discovered self. Great. That's great. So continuing with what you've got. That's good. Okay. Dwayne wrote, I decided to join Rock Solid Relationships. Awesome, Dwayne. Obviously that's an awesome decision. And Soul, thank you, David. You are welcome, Soul. Okay, so let me just wind this down. You can continue, guys, to share your decisions. And let me just, I should do stop share. Okay, great. You can continue to share your decisions as I'll keep getting these comments coming up, and I should be able to see it as you share it. I just want to expand a little bit on that last point as far as the point of no return goes. Picking the point of no return and committing, it's a big part of being able to commit. So you commit to, at this point, I will make the decision and force myself to follow through on something that is good for me. And where is my keynote slides? Is this it? Oh, wait, there's something wrong here. Sorry. Let me tap keynote here. I see. Still in full screen. That's why. Okay. Here we go. Thanks for your patience. And view, enter full screen. And now I hit play. Okay. So how to pick the point, intuition, practice, guidance. And let me now expand a bit on how to get the right guidance. Just have a few points here, and I'll go through these relatively quickly. The first point is you should find a guide who is not just going to give you a whole bunch of tactics, but instead will teach you the mindset, the thinking behind it, the psychology behind it. Okay, so not just giving you fish, and when it comes to dating, relationships, and all that, parroting words, so in other words, just copying some other guy's tactic, often will not work for you and will in fact become more dangerous. I've done podcast episodes on this, where you end up taking somebody else's persona that's not even your own persona. So it's like doubly worse. And then it not only will not work for you, but then you'll have reinforced and conditioned yourself to being this sort of fake, false part of or self, right? So you want to be a fake, false self. You want to be you. So you want to look for guidance that has therapeutic elements in it, that's looking at the root of the problem and not just dealing with the symptoms. Okay, so if that's a point that you want to explore more, I've made quite a few podcast episodes already exploring that. And the podcast you should look for is called Masculine Psychology Podcast. So you can find that on my YouTube channel or on this page or profile. Okay, and the second point that you should be looking for to get the right guidance is that the guide aligns with your ethical values and principles. So that already discounts large swaths of men's dating advice and men's advice in general. For me anyway, I don't know what kind of ethics you have, but there are a lot of, or too many, way too many men's coaches who are sleazy or underhanded or bigoted and all kinds of other not so great things. I'll leave that to you, but if you are following me, I assume that you have to some degree thought about your values. And if you're new to my work, maybe you haven't thought about your values, in which case I have a lot of courses that walk you through the process of reflecting on and coming up with your own ethical values. And then you'll be able to judge others. Because if you haven't thought about your ethical values, then you're walking into situations with other people with no standards. You're just sort of going with your intuition without any guidance to your intuition. You haven't thought it through. So in this sense, you're reinventing the wheel every time. So just step back, okay, and go through the process of thinking more clearly about your values and deciding on them. Also, once you have done that process of your thinking through your values and deciding on them, you'll already automatically become a lot more attractive to women, especially when you're interacting with them. They will sense this, that you're already evaluating them, you're already screening them, and you have standards. All of that will be happening unconsciously and automatically and naturally after you've already thought through your values. So that's just an important process I take guys through in the course Invincible and in other courses like Freedom U. Okay, so aligns with your ethical values and principles. That's important. So I noticed it because a lot of guys have shame, sexual shame around asking for advice with women. Like I get guys messaging me with so many guys with fake Facebook profiles, one of those shadowy profiles. And it's like, it's even worse when it's got some girl's name like Rebecca Goldstein or something. And it's a dude messaging me with that profile. I'm like, how much shame are you on? And the thing is, I know what's happening. Guys who on the outside, to the rest of the world, to their mom, dad, to their boss or whatever, they appear all nice and good. But in the meantime, they're on the internet looking for naughty, dirty shit, right? And they've somehow lumped me in there. I can see how that might happen for other complicated reasons that go way back. But it's very unfortunate that they have this double standard and this hypocrisy. So if that's you, if you're on there kind of sneaking it like you're looking for dating advice the way you might look for porn, if that's you, you're in for a lot of hurt later on, because your worlds will collide, guaranteed. Those two worlds you're trying to keep separate, your dirty sexual life or your desire for a dirty sexual life and your sexual shame around that, and then your publicly presented life. Some men are forced to call those into account, have those called into account, but no matter what, it will collide, either in your relationship or maybe not even before you're in a relationship. So get clear on what your ethical values is. You can experience all the sex, all of the pleasure that what you think is your dirty part, your dirty side wants. You experience all of that within a well thought through ethical system. Okay, so in my ethical system, there's nothing ever wrong with pleasure in and of itself, including sex and the sexual act. I've been running into this quite a lot in the past few weeks of guys who are laboring under the weight of a lot of sexual shame, and they don't even know it, and they're in denial of it. Okay, so that's one of the things that came up to me as I read that one, ethical values and principles. The second point is that the guide should have personal experience of the advice. So this means that if this person is doling out dating advice and he's an old dude in the middle of fuck all Nebraska, no offense to Nebraska, but it's like, somewhere rural, and he's giving you advice about how to meet women in New York City, you should take that, the fact that he has no personal experience of that into account. A lot of dating coaches on the internet have very little personal experience with the advice they're giving. A lot of them are just sharing what's worked for him as one individual, or worked for him and his buddies. And he's just making a nice video, and he's got good video editing skills, or maybe he scripted out his video. I don't script out my videos or any of my stuff, to my detriment. I really should sit down and write it out and then read out what I wrote. But I don't know. I don't enjoy doing that. But I know the video would be tighter for that. But I know lots of guys who do that. I see them on the internet, and they are sharing out of their ass, or they're sharing their own personal experience, but their personal experience is limited. Okay, so it's important that whatever advice you're looking for, that person has experienced personally what you are looking to do. So if you want to have a flourishing dating life, if you want to learn how to attract women in nightclubs or bars or on the streets, or just have that control to make it happen, you got to get a guy or get guidance from somebody who's done it himself, not just read a book about it or is just sharing his experience. The same with the guys who are just sharing their clubbing experience, and they don't have any other, especially relationship experience. And that's okay. The next one is the guy who has had a variety of personal experience. So almost all people have just a narrow band of experience. So they've take the typical Westerner, was born and grew up in the same town, or at least the same state or province. And then from there, his dating experience is all limited to that town, that region, that radius of whatever it is, 50 miles or something. And that's his entire experience. Now he's giving advice to people who are, I don't know, I live in Taipei right now. I was living in Singapore before. I lived in Bangkok. I lived in all over the place, right? So maybe if I was asking for advice from this guy, that would be a situation where he really ought to say that he doesn't have any experience around that, and he can't speak about that situation, but they never do. And besides, in most cases, you don't have access to the person, that real guy. You don't have that real personal touch or contact, and you're just watching passively videos. And a lot of guys don't take into account the fact that the person who's made this video or wrote this article doesn't actually have personal, hands-on, intimate experience of the situation that you're dealing with, and doesn't have a variety of experiences, international experience, for instance, or experience of different age groups and age levels, and different relationship situations and so forth. The guide should also have personally achieved your goal, the goal that you're asking for, which for many of you is casual dating. You want to succeed in getting lots of different dates with attractive women, but you should also find somebody who's gone beyond that. Because here's the problem. Imagine that you optimize for getting to first base, okay? And you don't realize that by optimizing to get to first base, you actually screw yourself over to getting to home base. Versus somebody who can tell you, or here's another analogy, you're running a full marathon, but you learn all of your running technique and strategy and planning for somebody who's optimized for the 5K. Okay, and the normal marathon is 42K, I think, around there, 42K. I know many of you are miles, so I don't know how many miles that is, but 5 versus 42. Okay, so you see the difference. That casual dating goal is at the 5K line. In fact, it's more like the first inning of an entire season or career, if you think about the dating period versus the marriage. And if that guy hasn't done beyond it, he hasn't gone past your goal, he's actually not a great guide for just getting to that intermediate goal. You want somebody who's gone beyond. So I've discovered that there are young relationship coaches who've just gotten a girlfriend for a couple of years. They're not married yet. They don't have kids yet. And they're giving out relationship advice. Clearly, people are listening to this, but it's important if you're choosing the right guidance. You want to be able to have a heuristic, like, because there's so many sources of information. How do you sift through them quickly to get to the higher percentage of good stuff? What are the chances that this information will be reliable? You can look immediately at the source, and then from there, that will help you decide. And that's a good heuristic for deciding, for making a choice of which guidance to go with. A guide who has personally achieved the goal you're aiming for and has actually experienced beyond that. Okay. And then a guide who is open-minded and non-judgmental and non-shaming about sex and sexuality. So this point is specifically around guys looking for guidance in the dating lives and in relationships. There are quite a few therapists and maybe very conservative people who have a lot of sexual hang-ups that leak through in their therapy work or in their coaching work or in their mentorship. And then they don't even realize it. And it might just be a clash of ethical values and ethical principles. So if you get that second point handled, you won't run into this one. But this happens quite a lot, especially if you happen to live in very conservative areas of the world. So it's important to choose somebody who's not going to judge you so that you can tell them anything. You don't have to hold back. You don't have to hide a part of yourself or parts of yourself. And there's no judging or shaming around, especially sex and sexuality, because after all, that's a huge part of an intimate relationship. And finally, find a guide who has not just experience in his own life, so he's achieved success in his own life with these goals that you're looking for help with, but he's also has extensive experience coaching others in a variety of different settings, contexts, so that it's not just what worked for him, and he's going to just force you into the same mold as he was, but that he can be able to, that he has experience to be able to, and a system is big enough to be able to figure out what will work best for you in your specific individual circumstances. Okay, so these are really great principles for all of this. For any decision you make, you want to have guidance for it so you're not reinventing the wheel every time. Okay, so then I hit escape again. Oh, I'm out of the, okay, so now I just want to, bear with me. Okay, I'm back. So when it comes to decision making, you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. You want to be able to find that point of no return for the situation you're in, whether it's going to meet that woman that you would really like to talk to, or maybe it's a work decision, whether to take that job or quit this job, or whether it's to start the new business on the side, or maybe it's to have that difficult discussion or conversation with your mother or father or your loved one in your relationship, your intimate partner. Whatever that difficult decision is, and I guess it's all relative and subjective, right? It could be difficult for you. You've got to know where that point of no return is. You develop that intuition for it so that you don't have to always sit there and calculate all these different variables. So you have a feel for it. That comes from experience and practice, but you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Get a guide to point it out to you. Just like I did when I was actually learning how to drive. I wasn't reinventing the wheel. Another fun, but I was actually had a teacher, and I actually got went to one of the best driving schools in my town, and then they taught us the point of no return. And again, as I'm coming to the yellow light, instructor asks me, "Tell me when the point of no return is." I say, "Now," and then he tells me, based on his expert opinion, whether I was right or wrong, how close I was to it. And then every time I'm getting closer and doing a better job of getting the right point of no return for the speed I'm at and the intersection I'm coming to and the driving conditions I'm under, etc. Okay, so I see a whole bunch of comments in. So I just want to just wrap that up on being a guide. All of those points are really important, and just to say them again, just as a recap: psychology, look for somebody who focuses on the psychology and not just the tactics. And when it comes to the dating advice, it'll be somebody who pays attention to the therapeutic origins of all of the insecurities, neediness, and anxieties, and so forth. Okay, so the therapeutic origins. Second, aligns with your ethical values and principles. This assumes that you actually have ethical values and principles. So you got to do that part first for yourself. The third is a guide who has personal experience, not just talking off of an article he got somewhere online and just rehashing it, but has personal experience with that. And that could be dating multiple women. It could be having a thriving dating life, social life, marriage, whatever it is he's giving out. A guide who has a variety of personal experience, so not just his own limited personal experience, but his experience in a variety of settings and situations. And then a guide who has personally achieved the goal that you're looking for help with, but beyond that as well, maybe 5, 10, 20, ideally, years beyond achieving the goal that you have, that you're aiming for, so that you can actually optimize for the bigger goals. And often when you aim higher, you'll get the smaller goals along the way naturally as a result of that. But you would need a guide who's gone well beyond. Otherwise, you won't know. And it's just like getting a 5K coach to train you for a 42K marathon. Not a great idea. And the second last point is find someone who's open-minded, non-judgmental, and non-shaming about sex and sexuality. And then the last is somebody who has extensive experience coaching other people, in a variety of different settings, situations, and so on, so that he has a bigger store of experience to draw on, and expertise and systems and models to be able to discern for you what is the best course of action for you. So that all of those points you should take into account, whether it's with me or with anyone else. Run them through that metric to decide on, as a really great heuristic device, which guidance to trust and rely on. Because there is a lot of information out there. You want to be able to sift through that quickly in a reliable way. Okay, now you may not have realized this, but I've been saying over and over that this is part of a launch for the Platinum Partnership, which is open until Sunday. And especially we've got some special bonuses that we're putting on for the first time ever. We're testing a lot of new things for the first time ever this week. And these bonuses are only going to be available for 2 more days. In fact, we may never make these bonuses available again. And there are aspects of this offer that we may never make available again. And it all depends on how things go. So take a look at that. And before I do that, I just want to see here, catch up on comments. Sharon, thanks for your sharing your situation. Ronald, the act of assuming your new future is already true and existing is creation in its purest form, to my very best understanding. I visualize being quit my job, having my own income and control over my own time, having the valuable people around me already, having built a valuable community already as well. I trust my unconscious and know this process is true. Meditation does exactly that. Well, that is beautiful, Ronald. Thank you for sharing. Soul wrote, regarding help achieving my goals, anything can help me assist the process of removing mental blocks to already doing things. I'm already in therapy and doing a couple of recordings at the same time. The process is about patience. This classes with action just seem to experience a lot of wondering. Okay, so I would say that I don't think patience needs to clash with action. For instance, here's an example. When you're building a strong body, especially if you've done it for a while, if you've been working out for a while, you won't see huge gains. Like a guy who's never worked out ever, and he starts working out, his first workout's going to really be painful. And then that first 4 to 6 weeks you're going to see a lot. He's going to see a lot of growth because he's going from a place of 0, never working out, to actually getting a proper workout with a proper trainer at the proper rate of intensity. And he should see a pretty big spike up. And then over time, his body adjusts to it, right? So that when you get like an experienced athlete or experienced bodybuilder, let's take that as an example. They're lucky to, as hard as they work out all year, they're lucky to gain 2 kilograms, 5 pounds of solid muscle a year. That's like safely, without like ballooning and then cutting, which is generally not done in bodybuilding. And you'll notice like they toil in the gym sometimes twice a day, 4 to 6 days a week. And they're at that expert level. You're looking at just tiny gains there. So you're still working. You're still working hard. The point is not, then you need patience. You've got to switch over at that point into enjoying it. And then it's not work anymore. Then you don't need patience at it. Right. So if you are experiencing a lot of need for patience to get to this goal, then that means there are parts of you haven't accepted yet. So I would recommend, we have plenty of therapeutic processes around this that I don't believe that you're in, because I don't think you're not a platinum partner. I know all my platinum partners. In our courses, we have processes around self-acceptance. The ironic thing is when you force it, when you don't think you're good enough yet until you XYZ, then you're actually already adding and heaping on more toxic shame onto the process. But so that is what creates false selves. When like that process of becoming your best self, if that means that there's that shitty loser self that you leave behind, then that's actually not the therapeutic. So that's why it's important, that first point I made of you find a guide who understands the source and origin of the problem. The problem is the core insecurities, the core neediness, the inability to meet your own needs, your emotional needs, and maybe even physical needs, that inability to do that. And if you're looking for, I'm going to leave that fucking vulnerable part of me behind. I'm going to literally, it's called exiling. I'm going to exile, disown that part so that I can become this awesome superhuman, right? The super me, the superhero me version, the best version of myself. This is just a process of toxic shame. Right? This is a process of codependent, actually not codependent, compensating, compensatory narcissism. Right? So the first step to avoiding the compensatory narcissism, and I know because I've gone through this and I made many videos, free and more detailed ones in the paid courses that include guided meditations, similar, sort of like as powerful as the ones you've done, but for this more therapeutic purpose, to undo and to undo the compensatory narcissism, to avoid that process entirely. And the starting point is becoming aware of the vulnerable parts and then coming to a place of full acceptance of them. The amazing thing is once you accept them, they shift, they morph, they change naturally. It's the process of exiling them, disowning them, and hating them. Those parts of you that you already are ashamed of and think aren't good enough. That's what causes them to actually rebel and have that energy. And all of that pain is not being attended to. This is a complex process for those who haven't done it before. Once you've done it and gone through it, it's like, it's like a natural thing. But for those for whom it's still a foreign thing, it's, I guess, it could be hard to understand. So I have courses that walk you through the process. I also offer private therapy for that. And if my private coaching, my private therapy work is on a wait list. So if you would like, I can also refer you to some other people in your time zone. Okay, so that's what I would say to that whole thing about needing patience. That must mean that there's some parts of you you're not fully accepting yet. And that's like just trying to grin and bear it, like the willpower approach to self-help. Start with acceptance. Okay, so then it will change and color the whole thing from there onwards. Okay, so I just want to share with you this new video that we made. It's 1 minute long. Okay, so I'm going to just share this with you real quick. And it describes our new program, the Platinum Partnership Program. Let me just check the levels here. Okay. All right, cool. I'm just going to play this 1 minute video. Right. Okay, so welcome back. That was a quick video we did on the new Platinum Partnership. And just want to tell you real quick about it. It includes access to all of my courses. And just for a minute or so, let me share with you actually, let's move this here. Let me share with you the page where you can register and just walk you through it very quickly here. And let me just do the share. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Okay, so here's the page. If you click the link in the description, this is where you go. Here's the video. And it comes with 3 different options. So just before, actually, before I get in there, there is a section here that, so if you, as you scroll down, you see all this great information that will tell you all about it. I'm not going to read it out. That would be a waste of time, so because you can read it yourself. But I want to point out that these are thumbnails. Okay, so when you click on them, they tell you about each of these courses. So this may have been too clever a design feature that our designer made. Maybe some guys don't realize it, but you can click on each of these and get all the details of these various courses. Okay, so this shortened the load time and everything else on this page considerably, but realize you can get the details of each of these courses, all 21 of them, including the training camp, which is not even released yet, except for to our platinum partners. In fact, it's only been released to our beta group of platinums, plat partners, and next week it will be released to all of our other platinum partners. And then there will be a way for guys who have Invincible also to be able to access that. And we're continuing to add new courses to this. Is another one that's slated to be released towards the end of the year. So you can see all the different courses here, and you can just click on any of these thumbnails to learn more details about them. As you can see, they cover everything. Okay, so I made it's a quick bullets of what they cover: how to meet and attract amazing women, how to flirt and have fun conversations with women, how to give her the time of her life on your dates, whether it's with the woman you just met or your wife of many years, how to become naturally charming and confident and in the flow when with attractive women, so that everything you say and do are exactly the things you naturally want to say and do and are exactly the right things to say and do, how to find quality women for a long-term relationship, how to spark and grow the passion in your relationship over time, how to strengthen your masculine energy and core so that you're more attractive to women naturally and have boundless energy to crush your goals, how to establish and enjoy an incredible lifestyle where you can travel and work wherever you want and fill your days with the things you love to do, how to find your life purpose and let your vision propel you forward instead of relying solely on willpower and beating yourself up to get there, how to discover your true self and lead life as your authentic self, and how to find real freedom of self, purpose, and love, so that you won't be controlled by your emotions, but instead control them so you can be free to surf the waves of your emotions to greater heights of joy, love, fulfillment, and happiness than ever before. Plus a whole lot more. That just that's like the surface of it. There skirts the surface of it. There's a lot here. You can see social circle, there's styling, secrets, etc. There's also a huge archive of live trainings. Okay, so this is over 20 life-changing training programs in the membership site for you. It also includes weekly live coaching with me and access to our global platinum brotherhood, including once the pandemic lifts, or at least international travel is easier, we will be hosting again our platinum meetups around the world. As well, it includes personal one-on-one coaching with me. Now, we've provided a new option here for the first time ever. Oh, and there's a 30-day risk-free guarantee. Okay, so you can try it out for 30 days. Okay, so here's a new option we've just added. The first time ever, Platinum Partnership Basic. The basic option comes with all of our recorded courses. That's currently 19 recorded courses. The only courses it doesn't include are the legendary coaching group, which is the weekly live training, and it doesn't include Freedom U. Otherwise, it includes all of our recorded courses. It doesn't come with a complimentary pass to any of our live events or private coaching or access to the platinum community, but it comes with access to all of the other 19 courses. This is only for $9.97 a year. Okay, so just for $9.97 a year, you get access to 19 courses, most of which cost $500 each. So this is a risky offer for us to offer. When I agreed to it, the team proposed it. I agreed to it. I'm very nervous to agree to it. I don't know if I'm getting ripped off here, but we're offering it. If you like it, this is your time to take it, because it won't be offered again, probably. So let me know whether I should offer it again by voting for it, by buying it. Okay, so that's the Platinum Partnership Basic. We stripped it down of the 2 live coaching courses, which are Legendary and Freedom U. Okay, the Platinum Partnership Pro comes with everything, including we're throwing in for this registration period only. I'm throwing in a general admission pass to any of my live events in the next 24 months. So you pick the one that works for you. We're going to be doing live events and slated next year for Toronto, London, Singapore, and maybe more. Depends on how open the world is at that point. But you have 24 months to take advantage of that. All you got to do is write to us to let us know which one live event you want, or when it comes up, we'll hold the spot for you. It also includes one ignition session private coaching call. And then the lifetime version comes with everything, including lifetime access, obviously. And it also comes with a VIP pass. The VIP pass is a VIP pass to any live event that I do in the next 24 months. You choose the one you want. The VIP pass comes with the dinner on the 2 nights, plus the Sunday banquet or brunch or whatever it is that we end up doing on the Sunday, special like small group meal and training that we do together. So that's normally $1,500 USD. That comes included. And you also get 2 private coaching sessions. Okay, so this is normally, once this offer ends, it's going to be $5,000 if you want to get it later. Okay, at any point in the future, if we offer it again. Right now, we're experimenting. We're experimenting with knocking off $1,000 on that. So notice you can get the non-lifetime access version of this. And then you just have a general admissions pass and 1 coaching session. That's the Platinum Pro. That's $2,000 a year. So if you think you're staying for 2 years, if you want to continue your growth for 2 years, you might as well get lifetime. Okay, and normally it's priced at 2.5. So if you stay in for 2.5 years, you should just get lifetime. But in this case, it's just 2 years. If you think you're going to use it for more than 1 year, you might as well get lifetime. And you can also break it down into the monthly payment plan. Okay, so the discount is $1,000 off the upfront version of this. Plus, we're throwing in the live event tickets. We won't offer that again. I guarantee you that one. And then you see the different coaching calls. So these are the 3 options you have. Pick your plan. We made it as easy as possible for you guys to invest in yourselves. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for us without us going out of business. Okay, so $997 a year for access to all the 19 recorded courses. Okay. Oh, hey, Darren, good to see you on here. All right. So, oh, thanks, Darren. Nice video. Nice. All right. So then below here, we got the questions. I just want to read out. Well, these are kind of long. Just read out this one here in the middle. David Tian, I'm certainly grateful for having come across yourself and your programs. Before your programs, I suffered depression, and then my marriage ended. At the beginning of this year, I couldn't see a light at the end of the tunnel and formulated my exit strategy. I couldn't see a future at all. Couldn't tell you what I'd be doing 12 months from now. But because of your Platinum Partnership Program, I have a new lease on life. It's given me drive to get my shit together and to get my arse into gear. So thank you, David Tian. I owe you a beer or 20. Cheers. And there's so many of these. We just picked a few to share on this page. Go ahead and read them for yourself. And then we have the boxes here that walk you through everything that's included in each of these options. So I'm just going to scroll down to the Platinum Partnership Life. If you add up how much the guys in the room paid to take the course that the recordings are based on when we beta tested these live, the whole value of all of these 21 courses comes out to over $50,000. In fact, it comes out to $53,750 to be precise. It is now including over 500 hours of material all told, and it is increasing every week. And this includes the courses Freedom U, the Legendary Coaching Group, Limitless, Lifestyle Mastery, Training Camp, 10 Weeks to Freedom, Rock Solid Relationships, Masculine Mastery, Invincible, Awakenings, the ORLE Club, Charisma Code, True Self, Purpose, Heart, Drive, Core, Conversation Vortex, Social Circle Mastery, Styling Secrets for Men, the Perfect Day System, and all future upcoming programs. It also includes private coaching with me, which is normally valued at $1,500, and then a complimentary VIP pass to any live event. Actually, this is a typo. This is actually valued at $3,000. I got to tell my designer, we got to correct that. Especially if this is actually Platinum Partnership Life. This should be, sorry, I just discovered a new thing here. This should say 2 ignition sessions, private coaching with David Tian, and a complimentary VIP pass to any live event with me in the next 24 months. Exclusive access to the Platinum Brotherhood and lifetime access. This is only available right now. And this should also be crossed out. I got to get my designer to get on this. This is $3,997. You'll see it when you click on this, to join Platinum Partnership Life. Okay, so as you can see, this is a raw sales page. We completely revamped it. I got to make sure all that those typos are correct there. I'll correct those right after this. And this offer will not be available after Sunday. So if you're interested in this, already the Platinum coaching call slots are getting filled up. So I want to make sure you get in there in a reasonable time frame. So that means we're closing on Sunday. So if you're interested in this, take action now. If you have any questions at all, you can put it in the comments here, or you can write to support@oradating.com. So thank you guys so much for being on. I will be back on tomorrow, same time. That's 8 a.m. New York, 1 p.m. London, 8 p.m. Singapore and most of Asia, and 10 p.m. in Sydney. And I'll be back on with how to trick your brain to success. And I'm going to be actually tricking your brain. I'll be leading you through the process of how to do that, to trick your brain to success so it becomes natural and effortless and automatic success, especially with women. So come back tomorrow. And success with women doesn't just mean casual dating. Obviously, it means also if you happen to be married to a woman or in a relationship with a woman, that this will also be counted as success with women. If you want to have a thriving dating life, social life, or relationship, come back tomorrow so it becomes automatic for you. And I'll be showing you how that works. Okay, so check out the Platinum Partnership. Obviously, this is a big reason why I'm going live right now. And it closes is it tomorrow? Oh, 2 days from now. You got 2 days left to take advantage of the live event bonuses. If you want to do the basic offer, it's only available till Sunday. And then $1,000 off the lifetime version, the lifetime option. So take advantage of this, invest in yourself so that you get this effortless ease with success in life. So you're not having to rely on a lot of patience, but instead you are excited to be doing this process and you enjoy all of what is involved with your social life, with interacting with women, with a relationship, and just with success, with the work that goes into it, so that it's not work anymore, but it's something that you really enjoy. And that comes from speaking directly to your unconscious mind and having those reframes and resets and shifts in your mind through the therapeutic process. You want this to be effortless for you so that it becomes easy and natural. Okay, that's all a part of what the program gives you. And for those who opt for the lifetime access, it comes with lifetime access so that it follows you through and gives you support at each phase of your life so that you always can go back to it, refresh, review. And each time you go through it, you'll notice that you pick up some new realizations, some new insights, and you have some new growth that you didn't realize was even there for you before. So all of that is inside the Platinum Partnership. You got 2 days left to check it out. Thank you so much, guys, for being on. Thank you, Darren. Great to see you here. And Dwayne and Sharon, thanks for dropping in. And Sol Mari, thank you for your input and your engagement. Love it. And Ronald as well. Thank you guys all. And Jay for being on here. I really appreciate that. And come back tomorrow, same time, same place. I'll see you then. David Tian signing out. See you tomorrow.